I'll stop at the market after class tomorrow, Rose said, not even looking up from her books, while she was hunched over at the kitchen table. I hated it when she popped in and out of my mind without my consent. I knew she didn't mean to do it, but I didn't have to like it. There were certain things that were meant to stay private, like certain thoughts about Ryan Mendez. Sorry, she said. I know you hate it. I was thinking of something else and accidentally wandered in. At least Rose tried to respect my privacy. No, I'm just in a bad mood, I said. Thanks for taking on the shopping. I took the vegetables I found out of the fridge, tomatoes, mushrooms, and an iffy onion. I washed the tomatoes and set them aside. Then I chopped the onion and mushrooms to saute with a little garlic. I found a packet of noodles and took out the bag of pre-shredded cheese. Lasagna it was. Hey, watch it, Rose said. You're getting tomato all over my notebook. But I'm not chopping tomatoes, I said. And when I looked over, though, there was one exploded tomato on the counter. Poppy, knock it off, or I swear. Oh, hi, Mom, I said. You're home early. She stood in the doorway with her briefcase still in her hand. My mom was beautiful, even rumpled after a hard day at the office. Her long hair was midnight black and shiny, as though the cluster of stars shone in the strands. My hair was the same basic color as hers, but on me it just looked dirty. My mom's eyes had been compared to sapphires. My eyes were more like the color of Windex. Rough day, Mom said. How was yours? Same as yours, I said. Rough. Mom smiled in sympathy. Do you need any help with dinner? She asked. Thanks, but I got it under control. Thanks for cooking tonight. I don't think I could have faced making dinner after the day I had. She collapsed into the kitchen chair. I looked at my mother in curiosity. She loved to work and rarely complained about it. She looked pale, and there were dark circles under her eyes. I put the kettle on and made Mom a cup of tea. She sat at the counter and kept me company while I finished dinner. After the lasagna was done, and Poppy grudgingly set the table, we ate in the dining room. Daisy, this is delicious, Mom said. I used Grandma's recipe with a few minor alterations. I may not have psychic talents, but I can make a mean lasagna. After dinner, Rose and Poppy headed for the kitchen for a cleanup duty. Mom headed for the living room. A few minutes later, I heard her talking on the phone. I wandered in to read on the couch. Mom had a thick file in front of her. After a short conversation, she hung up the phone with an angry click. That man is going to give me gray hair, she said. What man and why? The county coroner, Bud Larson, because he's an idiot, she burst out. Then she sighed and said, Forget I said that, Daisy. I'm frustrated and I'm taking out on him. I was quiet, hoping she would say more. He refuses to believe that my contributions are real, which means he doesn't spend any time on any of the cases I consult on. But that's not fair, I protested. No matter what, I knew my mom was right. She never made a mistake about her psychic readings. No, it's not, she agreed, but fortunately Nightshade's chief of police believes that my contributions are worth risking the wrath of the coroner's office. Chief Mendez is right, I said loyally. You help so many people, but people like Bud Larson are afraid of the unknown, and psychics are part of that unknown. Poppy and Rose came in while we were talking. They carried a large dessert tray. We thought we could have dessert in here, Rose said. Mom nodded. Poppy, why don't you get the TV trays? Daisy, this looks great. She held up a dish of ice cream and strawberries. Poppy must have made it. I forgot about dessert, and ice cream was Poppy's favorite. There was silence in the room while we dug in. Rose, my mom said, do you have a minute to take a look at something? Sure, Rose said, popping a strawberry in her mouth. What is it? Mom took a deep breath. I might as well tell you all. I need help with a case. Stunned silence. Mom never, ever needed help with a case. You never asked for help, Poppy said, tactful as usual. There's a file I want Rose to see. I can't get a reading on the body. My sisters and I searched Mom's troubled face. She continued, The female victim was an unidentified young, healthy girl who seemed to just drop dead, and I can't determine why. Are you losing your psychic abilities? Poppy blurted out. Are you becoming a norm? The horror in her voice irritated me. I didn't know what the big deal was. Being a norm wasn't so bad. You have tough cases before, I reminded her. Like the guy in Sydney, remember? Turned out he was bitten by a spider and the bite was too small that you barely got anything. This is different, Mom replied. I sensed violence. someone taking something she didn't want to give. But there wasn't any sign of injury. It's like someone just drained her of her life force. The coroner's office is stumped. Tell us what you know about the victim, I suggested. Not much, I'm afraid, Mom said. A female approximately 15 to 17 years old. The police think she was a runaway. No signs of physical trauma, but I can't even get a glimpse of the childhood memory. It's like every thought, every feeling she had was erased. Why can't I help? The question burst out of me. If she gets to, I'm helping too, Poppy said. I don't think so, Daisy. My mom shook her head, firmly. Poppy gave a triumphant crow, and Mom turned to her with a frown. You either. I would have asked Rose, but she's the oldest and more experienced. But I want to help, I said. I know you do, honey, Mom said, but I need Rose's help. Now. You mean Rose's psychic abilities, I said. I pushed away from my dessert, no longer hungry. Resentment had a way of filling up your stomach. May I be excused? Without waiting for an answer, I stomped off to my room. Not the most mature action, I admit, but I couldn't help it. I was so sick of Rose and Poppy having a part of Mom's life, a part I couldn't share. I knew I'd been able to help her with this case, if she'd just let me. I had lots of detective-like skills, such as the ability to tell if someone was lying. Having an ex-friend like Samantha Devereaux had taught me that lesson. After pounding for a few minutes, I had an idea. As I tiptoed downstairs, I heard my name. It's hard for Daisy, Mom said. You girls need to try to include her in more of your activities. There's so much she doesn't understand. She's a norm, Mom. It's time you admit it. She's a late bloomer, Mom said. You'll see. But normal or not, she's still your sister. And I expect you to treat her as such. I forgot the bottom step creaked and put my weight on it. The sound gave me away. Daisy, is that you? Mom called from the family room. Yeah, it's me, I said, pretending that I hadn't heard anything. I stepped into the family room. Poppy was sprawled out on the couch, and Mom and Rose were on either side of her. A cozy circle, a circle that excluded me. I made a face. I just want the cordless to call Ryan. Wow, Daisy, I didn't know you had it in you, Poppy said. He is a hottie, but maybe a little out of your league. He's my friend. Remember, Poppy? Don't be disgusting, I said. Can I have the cordless? Friend, huh? That might have been true when you were both playing in the sandbox, but if you hadn't noticed, Ryan is all grown up. She crowed even louder when she saw the blush spreading across my face. I knew it! You do have a thing for him. Too embarrassed to reply, I just held up my hand for the phone. Poppy usually carried the phone around like it was her security blanket. She reached under her pillow and handed it to me. I stomped up the stairs. Poppy was such a pain in the butt sometimes. Even if I was interested in Ryan, I didn't have a chance, not with Samantha Devereaux in existence. I shut my bedroom door and locked it. Poppy's talents didn't include psychic eavesdropping, and Rose would never stoop so low. But there was still the garden variety of eavesdropping, like loitering outside the door to listen. There was nothing I didn't want. This was something I definitely didn't want my sisters to hear. I took a deep breath and dialed Ryan's number. It was just Ryan, who I'd known all my life. Ryan, who shot up a foot the summer before high school. Ryan, with his green eyes and dark brown hair that looked so soft I wanted to touch it. Mendes residence, Ryan speaking. Ryan's dad insisted he answer the phone that way, you know, the polite way. There was a lump in my throat which blocked my power of speech. Damn that Poppy. She had to open her big mouth and make me think about Ryan that way. Hello? Ryan said. Daisy? Call ID. Sometimes I hated technology. Like now, when it would have been so easy to just hang up. Hi, Ryan, I said finally. What's up? I'd called Ryan lots of times, but this was different because I needed a favor. A big one. Can you meet me tonight? I asked. Sure. Where? Ryan's voice sounded resigned, not exactly the reaction I wanted from the hottest guy in school. I reminded myself I had no interest in Ryan Mendez. At the diner at around 10:30. Slim's Diner was conveniently located across from the police station. Daisy, my curfew was midnight. Ryan's dad was strict, being the police chief and all. I know, it won't take long. Okay, he said. Do I want to ask what you're getting me into this time? It's no biggie, I said. But bring the extra set of keys, you know the ones. We both knew his dad kept a spare set of office keys at the house. He groaned in exasperation, but he didn't say no. That's all for today.